for tuning in. This is Off the Bottom coming with another video review. And today, thanks to the folks at TFCon, we'll be taking an early look at their upcoming convention exclusive, that being Masterpiece Shafter. As you can see, really nice package on here. You're also noticing that Shafter is a repaint of the X-Transbot Crank figure, which was their take on like a Masterpiece sized Huffer. And Shafter is an homage to the original G1 Action Master, unfortunately named Erector. Now, there's a whole history just in of itself with that character, and one of the most kind of endearing things about it was that Erector was up for nomination in, I believe it was 2011, for the Transformer Hall of Fame, where there was a legitimate push for him, but the unfortunate nature of things is a lot of fans latched onto it because of his name and making it a very unfortunate joke. And Hasbro didn't like that much either. But they went along with it. They thought it was kind of amusing, even going as far as giving him a bit of a bio that said that the Erector was originally supposed to be part of the Constructicons but was rejected in favor of Hook because, well, he's yellow and Hook was green, so he got kicked out. But that's what this is essentially in homage to. And it's put in Masterpiece scale. But taking a look here at the packaging, you see really nice. I love the artwork on here. You got a very nice galaxy image here in the back. You obviously got the TFCon logo right there. But I also really love this three-dimensional look with the broken concrete. Looks absolutely terrific. You come around here, TFCon, TFCon, TFCon. The things I have seen, it's big. Bigger than the Matrix. All with the big jokes. Then you come around here to the back, and this bio is absolutely terrific. Written by none other than Proto Man himself. This really has a lot of Easter eggs in it, which are absolutely fun. So if you'd like to go ahead and read some of them, go ahead and pause it, read through, and see how many you can actually pick out. One of my favorites is that one of his weapons is called the Kragun, which actually is Erector's name in Japan, which is a wonderful use of that sort of history. But there's a lot of other really cool things in here. So like I said, pause it, read through it, and see how many of those funny Easter eggs you can actually find. Because I'm sure Daniel had a fun time hiding them in here. In addition to all that, you do see his allegiance, his functions. There is a bit of a misspelling right there, but hey, no one's perfect. Then you have his tech specs right there. I mean, all in all, an absolutely terrific looking package. But we're not here for that, so let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Masterpiece Shafter open up and out of its packaging. And out of the box, he does come in his truck mode, but you do have to attach a couple things, such as his side view mirrors, his exhaust pipes. In terms of weapons, he's got two guns. One that can store here on the trailer hitch, and then one here that can store on the bottom as well. In addition to that, he does come with a bit of a bio card. You got a nice image of Shafter there with TFCon on the side. On the back of it, it just has that same bio that's on the actual packaging, and then his tech specs. It's a fairly nice, thick cardboard card, which is very nice. I love that third-party companies give this to us. For me, it just adds to the collectability of what we're getting. But this is really nice looking. Now, when I was deciding on if I want a Crank or Huff, which were the two different versions of Huffer that were created by two different third-party companies, I ended up going off with Huff as my Huffer representation. I just liked the way the color looked more, the size worked a little bit better. He was a little bit smaller than Crank, but as a different character, I think that this works just beautifully. As you can see, a very nice yellow, and just in general, very nice paint and coloring on this. It's not really all that spectacular or mind-blowing. It keeps that same Eye-Gear Shafter sort of look going, but it just kicks it up a notch. That being here with a lot of the chrome, you can see the entire front grille section's chrome, his headlights are chrome, the side view mirrors chrome. You come around here, you got a chrome gas tank, you got the chrome exhaust pipes, his weapons are chrome. Even when you come down here, and you'll see here more in the actual robot mode, his arms are chrome. Well, you can actually kind of see him sticking in there well, although they're not very positioned well, but hey, what are you going to do? But color-wise, it looks really nice. Now, one thing I'm noticing is that this is a molded yellow. This is a yellow paint on top of what I'm imagining is black plastic, so it gives it a different sort of look, which I don't mind. I think it stands out a little bit different, and I like it. It gives it kind of a neon look to it, which I really do dig. Then you got some nice paint here, obviously, on the taillights. You can remove this. I don't personally, because you get two guns, I don't really think that you need to have this for mount. I mean, you could have them holding two guns, but I think this is a little bit nicer of weapon storage. It doesn't look out of place here. One thing that is nice, as I said, this is a Masterpiece scale, and it is the original mold designed to interact with that Transformers Prime, or I'm sorry, Transformers Masterpiece Optimus Prime figure. So bringing in his trailer, you can see that he's got these two little slots right here that if you line it up, and I'm gonna try doing it with, it's not easy to do. Make sure it's squeezed together as much as I possibly can get it. Get that, oh, there's the back of them, but there you go. You can see that you can attach it to the Masterpiece trailer and nicely recreate, well, no scene really that Erector was part of, but that mold still works and you can still interact here with Optimus's trailer, which I think is fantastic. It is a great homage to that episode in G1 where Optimus Prime was severely damaged and Huffer had to take his trailer back because, I mean, the trailer just didn't disappear, apparently. It was still there regardless, so really nice. Now, one thing that I do not really like is this is sort of loose from here. It's nothing too extreme, but I wish that this would kind of lock in. As it is, you kind of have to put it down on the ground and position it to get it to look right, but the joints are stiff enough that, I mean, it's not going to flop or anything, so I do appreciate, well, it did bend a little bit, but I still do really like it. That's just probably the weakest part of the mold just in general, and keeping that nice and squeezed together. But as I said, the color on here really is terrific. You see the red bits on here, and I like how they actually have the rear view window painted red. You got some real nice translucent red window bits here up front, but that's a nice touch that they could have just been lazy about and not even bother painting, but I'm glad that they did because I think it really helps to round things out. I mean, and it's just small little subtle details, like right here on the top section. I mean, you can see that he's got his lights up here on the top with a real nice silver paint going around him. I mean, that, again, is an attention to detail that I think just looks really good. Now, for his transformation, first what you want to do is detach these sections here. You're going to pull these off. They'll attach to be his guns. One thing that does kind of bother me is the chrome. It makes me worry that it might be brittle and might break. Had too many problems with chrome pieces in the past, but as you can see, it popped out fairly well and didn't break or anything, so that's a good sign. Separate the legs just like that, pull out his gun, and then you can come around here and you got a little tab section right here that you can put that there, and you can create a heavy-duty blaster, which looks terrific. I think this is wonderful looking. And as you can see, for a comparison, this is his regular blaster. So you do get both of those, just setting that off there. And coming around to the figure himself. You already separated the legs, so just give those a nice little tug, just like that. Do that on both sides. Rotate this around, and then this bottom section folds back to reveal a bit of a heel spur form. So rotate that just like so. Take these, you're going to rotate this, and then these collapse up just like so to that on that side. However you want to position these is perfectly fine. That's about the best that you're going to get that look. And there's some really tight joints here, especially in the feet. The hips here are a little bit weak. They're not bad, but you can feel that they slide a little bit easier than I would like them to. But as you can see, I mean, it still holds a pretty decent pose. So coming around here, take these, rotate this back just like so. Then take this whole section, pull this away from the body. It is kind of hinged right up on here. So you're just going to pull that away. Bring that, give that a nice little rotation just like so. These arms that are tucked in here very badly in vehicle mode. I mean, as long as you get them up in the front section, it doesn't really matter. Rotate them around, rotate this out, and then bring these around. Then rotate them up here at the upper part of the bicep. So rotate that forward, extend that out, rotate that around, bring it around just like so. Straighten out his head, then come around here to the back. These bits right here, along the side here, you can sort of see where there's a little bit of a tab in section. Kind of loosen that and then rotate these all the way in to collapse that. do that there as well. Bring that around, and then I guess you don't even really need to rotate that, but bring this. You're going to take these little red hook doodads, and then you're going to try and hook them through this. So bring that down. They stick out a little bit, but just kind of bring that around. It's it kind of is a pain to get those in there, but there. Oh no, that goes out, that comes in. So we're going to try that one more time. Do that there. Hook you, and then just kind of you're actually spreading this a little bit, and that kind of makes me a little nervous, I guess. Third-party companies do make me feel a little nervous every now and then, but there we go. You get those two little bits behind the red section, and then bring this up and around, and then you collapse this, kind of wiggle this. This should collapse down and in, but well, maybe it actually doesn't. Maybe it just hooks there and just sits there. I thought that it actually collapsed a little bit further than that, because that doesn't seem all that secure, and it's kind of gappy there. No, I guess that's about right. Then you can take these little bits right here on his upper part of the shoulder, bring those down. That just kind of completes the look. Now, there we have Shafter. Now, he does come with a bit of a gimmick where you can pull this bit here, the crest on his forehead here. You can pull that forward, and then you can rotate the head around to give him more of a normal face look. But I actually like this. Again, it differentiates him from Huffer. I like the mouthpiece. It looks pretty good. The problem that I would probably say that I have with this figure is that the hips right here are really weak in this regard, so that's unfortunate. I don't know how we can actually tighten it, because they're like pinned in there, so I don't know how I can thicken that plastic to give a little bit more resistance to it, and you can see both of the legs do that. That's a problem that I think, and a lot of it is also perpetuated by the fact that he's got this really big backpack, so you have to lean him forward like this, at least on mine. It's still a great looking figure. I mean, you can see the nice chrome comes through here in the arms. You got very vibrant yellow paint still, also with the red bits here in his chest, his abdomen area. You got some nice blue eyes. Everything does look terrific. It's just that bit of a backpack hurts things. Now, you can position them like this. It kind of staggers that look where you keep the leg a little bit further back. You got this angled, so you can get him posed nicely, and that does look good. But if you're just going to have him standing straight, that causes problems, and you can see, yeah, oops. So luckily I pose my figures a little bit, so that really helps with the look on them. Now, again, he does have his giant cannon here. The hands open up on hinges. They're jointed right here at that set of knuckles. So I just put that in there like that, bring the hand around, and get a nice pose for him. I mean, and again, it looks really very cool, and because it is a unique character, it works perfectly fine and doesn't need to be the Huffer, I don't think. There's a lot of reflection here that's probably going to annoy some people because of the chrome. He does have his other gun that you can have him hold as well. Articulation-wise, his head is on a ball joint, so you get a nice range of motion. Kind of looks up and down. Looks more back than he does look forward, but it rotates left and right. The shoulders here are on ball joints, so you get a nice range there as well. The biceps have a nice swivel. He has two hinges here at the elbow. The wrists rotate, and like I said, the individual fingers here at the top knuckle also do flex in and out. He does rotate at the waist itself. The hips move forward and back. There's a good range of motion there, despite the fact that his cod piece here does come out. You still can get him moving forward very nicely. Moves in and out. Rotates at the upper part of the thigh itself. He bends at the knee. That's about as far as he bends. That's kind of unfortunate, but I mean, that's all the range of motion he really needs. He has a very stiff ball joint here at the ankle, so you get some nice pivoting there. I keep moving these out because it's just resting back there, but I mean, it is a terrific looking figure. I am hopeful that the looseness of the hips is just on my figure. It's one thing that does kind of bug me. but hopefully it's not indicative of all the figures that will be at TFCon. The other part that I never really particularly liked is, like I said, he is kind of gappy here. That was one part of the original mold that I didn't like, and also one of the reasons why I decided to get Huff instead of Crank for my Huffer representation. That just didn't really sit well, and it still doesn't. But all in all, the figure is actually very well done and looks very striking and blinding in these colors. Now, because he is Masterpiece scale, setting him to the side, here you have him next to MP10. And like I said, it is a fairly good representation. I mean, he should be smaller than Optimus, and this works very nicely. Now, one thing that I would like to touch on is that I did apply Pledge with Future Shine to this, and that's my kind of go-to sort of method when I want to tighten up a joint or something of that nature. I put it right up on the joint right underneath here just to kind of tighten it and thicken it up, and as you can see, the legs are still fairly loose, and because of the back heaviness of the figure, he still doesn't like standing up straight. You can see that over time, he's slowly, I mean, I can see it with my own eyes. He's a little bit better here, but over time, he just slowly, I mean, you can see it kind of there. He's slowly, and then he starts speeding up the leaning back. That really does bug me. I am very hopeful that it's just on mine, but with TFCon starting on the 11th, hopefully it's not something that is a huge widespread problem that a lot of people at the convention are going to experience. It's a great looking figure. I think he's phenomenally decorated. It just really looks cool. I just am not a big fan of the looseness there. In addition to that, the gap just bugs me. It's kind of ugly, but all in all, I think it's a very nice figure, and I really can't even fault TFCon for anything like this, because it's not like BotCon always produces perfect figures. But to transform him back, you have to get in here and pull these pieces out just like so. Then this part's a little bit tricky to do. You have to use the fender thing as leverage to kind of pull these out, because there's no real way to get under there with your fingers unless you wedge it away a little bit. Then you can get it in there with your fingers. But setting that just like that, then take these arms, you're going to bend these up, fold these up like so, rotate these, and oh, I'm sorry, actually you have to take these little top sections here and you have to fold these out just like that. So you're going to fold that, and then you're going to rotate these actually around. Let's see here, I got to make sure I get this right. I'm just going to rotate that to kind of get it out of the way. Alright, bring these up like so, rotate that alongside his head, do that over here as well. Rotate that around, kind of position them just like so, where they're dangling off on the side here. Then rotate this back around. Then you take these and you just stick them up here. Make sure that they're positioned right. There we go. Get them all the way in there. This part, I mean, it really, one thing, going back into robot mode here, it's a bit fiddly and kind of problematic, but once you get it in there, you can kind of position everything, angle all of this. You have to make sure that this is rotated around proper. You want to make sure that these red bits here are tucked underneath here, so get that all in there. Then you can kind of collapse that down. That pop, there we go. Get that all lined up just like so. It's a bit of a pain, there's no question about it. Rotate these bits down on both sides, take the heels, fold this in, fold this in. This whole section here will rotate down. Which way does that slide? There we go. Rotate that, and then this, pull that there. There we go. Slide that down, slide that down. You're going to rotate these around like so. Do that on both sides. Collapse the leg up. Do that on this side as well. Oh, that's supposed to be around that way. Keep this rotated around. There we go, where that's positioned. And then you're just kind of fiddling with these to get them into the proper area. And then again with these, just separate these little bits right here. And again, chrome makes me feel nervous when I'm pulling on it, because it's not the most secure
of materials. Come on. And I don't want to overdo it, but this is wedged. There we go. That's wedged in there very well. Then put this up here, kind of push that in, and then push the bottom. Put it in the top tab here. Goes in kind of on an angle, and then just push the bottom part in. And then you can take this gun, come around here on the bottom section here. Right up here is the little tab area. Just kind of line that up there. It doesn't necessarily stay on one side. You have to be very gentle. Then bring the other one together. There we go. Give it a nice little squeeze. Push as tight together as you can, locking these two halves together. There we go. Straighten out this, straighten out that, straighten out the wheels. So now see, everything on here is sometimes a pain in the butt. There we go. And there's where you're seeing the looseness here, because it kind of gets out of alignment sometimes. But here you have the one and only Schafter back in his truck mode. Now again, I really do love the way that this guy looks. He gives a really new, unique sort of look to that Huffer mold, and I think it comes across very nicely. All the paint applications, the plastic coloring, the chrome, everything looks absolutely terrific. My issues would probably be just with the mold in of itself. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's kind of a weak one, if you ask me. Vehicle mode, he looks perfectly fine, except this is a little bit loose, like I've commented on. And the transformation just seems a bit fiddly at points. But when you get to the robot mode, that loose joint, I'm not going to knock too much off on it, because I am hopeful that it is just on my figure. But the gappiness in the back is something that's always kind of bugged me and prevented me from buying the Crank figure just in general. My enjoyment for this really comes from the fact that I can look at this and not necessarily think Huffer. And that works perfectly for me. As for availability, I'm not 100% sure if they're going to have any of these extra at TFCon. If you registered, you got this included with your package. So if you're going to be looking for it at the convention, check around. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure if they're going to have extra available. But I like him, and I do recommend picking him up. He is not without faults, but he's a great pickup nonetheless. Now, TFCon will be going on July 11th through the 13th of 2014. Any information that you would like, go ahead and click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to tfcon.ca and you can get all the details there. Again, I want to thank the folks at TFCon for letting me share this with you. And don't forget that you can keep in touch with me and find out all my recent purchases by liking my Facebook page at facebook.com/TeamBottomus, or by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/Optibottomus. Also, don't forget to check out my new website at OptibottomusReviews.com, where you can see all my videos from the previous week, as well as see what I have coming up for future release. And I'd also really appreciate it that if you like this review, to please rate, comment, and share this video. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.